Welcome to this brand new video. In this video, I'll tell you how you can become a web developer. Firstly, I'll give some background on why you should take my advice on becoming a web developer. I have worked as a web developer for nearly 5 to 6 years now. I started my career as a web developer and now I'm a software developer. So I would say that my tips or advice are quite trustable. So first, let's see why you should become a web developer. And for the context of this slide, I'll be referring to the pay scale of web developers here in the UK, specifically in London. So let's get started. So you should become a web developer if you want to do a career change, or if you're fresh out of college or even school and don't know what you should be doing. If you're passionate about computing, you should learn web development, as it will get you started in the computing industry. Most web development jobs, they don't require you to have um, a computer science or any other computing related degree to actually apply for that job and get that job. So if you learn web development and do some projects, and if the employer likes your work, they'll most definitely hire you. Additionally, web development pays you decently, I would say, with the average starting rate of up to £23,000 per year here in London. It can vary based on your experience. If you already have some experience working as a junior web developer, you might even get 25,000 to £30,000 per year as your starting rate. And because you'll be a web developer, you'll be learning things all the time, learning new technology, as the in web development industry keeps on changing all the time. You have new trends, new technologies being used. So it is quite an exciting path to follow for an exciting career. And additionally, it will allow you to have a very interesting career in the end, as when you start as a junior web developer or a web developer later, with the skills you've learned, you will progress on to becoming a senior web developer or even software engineer. Now let's see the basics that you'll need to do or learn in order to become a web developer. So firstly, you'll need to learn HTML and CSS. HTML is a markdown language and CSS is a programming language that are the backbones of website. Every website that you see has HTML and CSS in it, and it is additionally there are other aspects built using other program languages too. But if you want to become a web developer, firstly you'll need to learn HTML and CSS. They are quite easy, and there are many resources on the internet to learn them. Personally, I started learning HTML back in 2012 in my school. So, and from there on, I started perfecting it, and now I am a software developer. Uh, uh, so I'm really thankful to HTML and CSS, as they are essentially the stepping stone of any software developer that you could see anywhere. Additionally, with HTML and CSS, you'll need to learn JavaScript too, as JavaScript is used to basically add behavior to a website or a web application. The click, whenever you click a button on a website, any event that happens after that button click is due to JavaScript. So JavaScript is very essential too. And additionally, you'll need to learn responsive design, which basically is creating websites from devices of all size, which works on every operating system, every device, which has different specification. Also learn how browsers work, because the work that you'll do will be interpreted by browsers, so it's quite necessary too. And once you've learned HTML and CSS, you might want to learn a JavaScript framework of your choice. It can be React.js, Vue.js, AngularJS. It is essentially dependent on what you like, so make sure you do that too. Now let's see the career paths that you can follow after becoming a web developer. So you can either do front-end development, which is basically the aesthetics of a website, and then you can do backend, which involves databases, API request, essentially transferring data, the transmission of it. Or you can be a full stack developer where you essentially deal with the whole stack of your website. And finally, some tips on how some practical tips which would help you to become a successful web developer. So you can learn it from Code Academy, Free Code Camp, which is what I used back in the day, and keep on building stuff, keep on building websites, deploy them, do real life projects, do freelancing. It would help you a lot. Thank you very much.